Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's get started with this panel. This is Scrivener, and before we begin, let's show a quick video.
We don't have any sound.
Yeah, I can't hear him either, Robson.
And welcome everybody to the Scrivener panel for Writers Conduit 2021. So glad to have you here. We have Carl and Doug as our main presenters for today. So thank you so much everyone for joining. And if we will be taking questions either during or after the end of this panel. So if you would like to ask a question, please be sure that you use the lemon at the bottom of the chat, and if you click that little lemon, you'll be able to see Ask a Questions Writers Conduit for 1 channel point. That will put you in the queue to be able to participate in with your questions. So with that, thank you so much for joining, and I'll step aside and turn the time over to Doug and Carl.
Thanks very much, Greg. Greg's been doing a lot of work today, and we're very thankful for what he's done. I think this is his 5th panel he's done, the first one he's hosted, and we're thankful for his technical efforts to make this work. I'm going to throw it over to Robson so that he can tell you a little bit what he's doing with Scrivener. Scrivener is a highly flexible tool. It can be used for writing, for formatting, that kind of things. Robson's got an interesting take on how he's using it for working with a role-playing game he's working on. Robson, you want to tell us a little about the game first, and then how Scrivener fits into you using it?
Yes. Truthfully, what I'm using Scrivener for is to organize the setting for the game. And if I'm honest, the setting came before the game. But basically, if you'll pay attention to my feed here, what's going on here is I have this binder over here. And this binder is something that is really the bread and butter, I would say, at least for me, of Scrivener.
Yeah, I agree. The binder is one of the features that first drew me into Scrivener.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and it can be organized in various subsections as well. Like, for example, the lore section. This was, let's see. I actually had to rebuild this file once from an earlier version of Scrivener. Sorry, I forgot to hold down my button there. I actually had to rebuild this file once when it got corrupted. Thankfully, that only happened once. But yeah, basically what I have here is various settings and subsettings that I'm working in for the role-playing game. Like, for example, I can't hold down Shift and select things at the same time. I need to get a different hot button.
Okay, do you want to change that?
Not at the moment. I'll just be good.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I'll just be clever. Anyway, be mindful that the button is dual purpose. But basically, yeah, so for example, this is Pelagia, homeworld of the Skyrays. I don't have too much on them just yet, but basically, the setting itself is called center space. And it's sort of an interdimensional crossroads with portals to pretty much anywhere. And you can build all sorts of different characters in it. Now, naturally, I would highly recommend not using copyrighted characters because, well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of, anyway. That's a whole nother panel.
Yes, it is.
But basically, there's various worlds that you can travel to. There's various places, even just within the dimensional crossroads, that you can travel to.
So how have you set that up within Scrivener to use the features within Scrivener to help you do what you need to do?
How I've used that is, well, basically I give each setting a folder in and of itself. And for example, here's Pelagia, Homeworld of the Skyrays. It talks about, whoa, that is trippy. Sorry, looking at what Discord is showing, and it seems to want to show the tooltip. Anyway, let's see. But yeah, basically, there's the Ansible plexus here, which is basically an information dimension. Think Tron, basically. New Ataxia, psionic, three-legged lizard people, basically. There. Grand Central Station, one gigantic and infinite city, basically. And I have various sub-articles within each one describing in more detail. Like, for example, for Grand Central Station here, I have various districts that I put in for the setting. Like, for example, the Lakeside District. It's basically how Grand Central Station feeds itself, or at least does its best to defray having to feed itself. And it still imports food, of course. But yeah, it's basically a hydroponics facility that also doubles as a recreation facility. And then here's the place where the broken sphere itself, which is a gigantic Dyson sphere that is in the process of fracturing.
Yikes. That would not be fun.
They're working on fixing it, and yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's the basic idea. And there's various sub-articles for each one of these things, as well as for characters, which I want to put into this world, which they actually have their own separate characters. They have their own separate categories, and some of these are still unorganized from the great debacle that I had with the time Scrivener failed me. Still
yeah.
Okay,
I do have a question. I do have a question that has come in from Justin Toons. Where do you recommend starting when it comes to world building? Scrivener is a great organizational tool.
That's a good question. I would say you start with it. Well, again, it's however you want to organize it. But for me, I like organizing the lore of the world I have by the locations which the lore happens in. So, like you've been seeing me go through the various locations that I've been doing. And one of the things I like doing specifically is giving each file, each location a prefix. Like, for example, TAP, the Ansible plexus, or GCS, Grand Central Station. And yes, that's basically what I do in terms of world building. At least how to start world building depends on the world. Like, I would wonder whether and honestly, this is a topic for another panel as well, but short and sweet version, I decide how Earth-like it is, basically. At least that's how I start. And then I work out from there.
Yeah, whether it's an Earth analog or whether you're starting from a different type of environment. Scrivener, you can use it as an outlining tool. I use it for a variety of things in world building. I usually, if I'm going to have locations in what I'm writing, I'll put those locations in and just put placeholders if I don't know anything about the place at the time, and then populate the folder structure as needed. I use Scrivener in a more traditional fashion as a writing tool compared to what Robson's doing. What else have you got going on in Scrivener with your world, Robson?
Well, this is actually, let's see. Oh, actually, fun little tidbit. You can use folders, and you can also actually have text inside.
We lost you, Robson.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Basically, you can put text specifically inside folders and not just have them as subfiles. The folder itself will contain the file. That is a nifty little feature I sometimes use. Like, for example, on this file right here, the legendary treasures of center space. Yep. Let's see. Let's see. Also, you can have multiple binders as well. Like, for example, here I created one specifically for Grand Central Station. And I have all the articles just for Grand Central Station for here for quick reference if I'm working specifically in that. And also, one of my other favorite tools is the search results tab.
Yeah, that's I really like that too.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on push to talk and forgot to take it. Okay, but basically, yeah. So, for example, let's see. I'm not used to the new search function yet, but
yeah, Scrivener just released the version 3 for Windows. They also support Mac devices. The Windows one's been a long time coming, and so there's still a lot of new features that everybody's digging through.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna take the push to talk off for a second so I can type.
Scrivener's been sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, that wasn't the search box like I thought. Okay, I found the search box. So yeah, basically what I've done here is put in a search for a thing called a Cywolf. That's actually one of the playable races I have in mind for the game. And I have all the articles that have Cywolves mentioned in them. So yeah, basically. And actually, I may as well show off one of my other favorite features. This helps me when editing, actually. And hold on a second.
From the moment of our creation, we were more
Can
than
you
the
hear
sum
the
of our
text-to-speech
parts.
going?
We just didn't know it at the time. Cywolf Phi, oldest living cywolf and
No,
progenitor
can't hear the
of the
text-to-speech.
cywolf species. Cywolves started off as a series of
I
infantry
can.
support robots with a wide
Oh,
range of
because the
add-ons and
text-to-speech is not
modifications
in
available
Discord,
from
but it is on
launch.
the stream. Sorry about that.
Their mobility and legendary adaptability enabled them to quickly become the ISR of choice for many factions of the resistance to the Ataxians. Manufactured by Custom Cyberworks, These robots served faithfully for years in their designated roles, whatever their...
Anyway, that's the text-to-speech function, and it helps me at least just hear how words sound that's in a voice that's not my own. That's a nifty little feature for me.
Yeah, easy to find mistakes or words you've forgotten when somebody else is talking about it.
Let's see, another nifty feature is composition mode. Yep, and basically composition mode enables you to look at large chunks of files altogether. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yep, so you can just keep scrolling through it. Ah, lovely.
We've got you now, Robson.
Yeah, it's acting a little weird for me. You keep going.
Okay. I use Scrivener. If you want to switch windows, Greg, I use Scrivener in a more traditional fashion, in the sense that I use it as a writing tool. I use the standard binder like he does. I just have a manuscript and then the chapters. What you're looking at is what's called the corkboard view. If you want to arrange the chapters that you're doing, you just drag and drop them where they need to go, reset them how you would. It's handy that way. You can build your outline and drag things around. Chapters in this particular case is inaccurate. These are more scenes, which is generally how I work. Here you can see an outline. You can set up word count, progress, what status it is. For example, I might want to make all the scenes that contain a specific character, specific color. The status might be first draft. And then clicking into the chapter, you can see various things at various sizes. One of the things I like as I'm getting older and my eyes aren't great is I can zoom it in as much as I want and work however, at whatever resolution. You can also focus different ways. If you're worried about word counts, there's your project targets for what's going on. This has got 26,000 words so far. I could set up what the target is. It can be in words. It can be characters. Generally, I use words. So this will need to be about 60,000. Then it'll give me a readout of what's going on. If you wanted session targets, I might want to write every day at noon or every evening. Allow writing on the day of a deadline, show target notifications, those kinds of things. The other thing that I quite like is I can quickly do an export.
Oh, yes, exporting is good.
Or I can do a compile. So the compile can quickly give me a paperback output, proof copy, screenplay, paperback, and then I can determine for what. So I might want to do it for an ebook, Kindle ebook. I just select that. I select what I want, and then I would just click compile. So it's going to go through and do the compile for it. I think I put that in my documents. Just a second. Seeing if it'll pull up. And then here's my, and now I'm getting a beeping sound, but you can see that I've got a quick, fast compile. I can take a look at it. It's easier to read. It's also much easier to give to beta readers to do things. Those are some of the features that push to talk is a little confusing. One of the features that I really like is you can set it to typewriter. It's going to be hard to demonstrate with the push to talk on here. There's a typewriter mode where it will keep the line that you're typing on in the middle of the screen and not always put it at the bottom. So that's normally how it works. And then in the typewriter mode, it'll stay in the center of your screen for you. It will also take imports of things. So if you have a template for something, a new project, there's some basic ones built in there, but you can bring in your own. I'm going to select novel. And now I've got a basic novel format with explanations on how to use the template. Lots of people have built all sorts of templates for short stories, flash fiction, RPG settings, a variety of different things. And you get some basic, with the default ones, you get some basic information for your characters, location setting, and then you can build accordingly. Rob, do you have anything you want to comment on? I feel like I've talked for a long time now.
Oh, no, it's all good. I've been sorting a couple things out on my end. Let's see. Oh, yes. Actually, the template tool is actually really good, especially if you want to work on various milestones for your project. When you can compartmentalize different projects as well. We'll still have. It's basically like having an entirely different binder for each project. I would say. Yeah, like I've done more traditional work in Scrivener in the past, like for when I'm doing NaNoWriMo, I do my NaNoWriMo novels in Scrivener as well.
Do you want to switch back to Robson's screen now, please, Greg? Thank you.
All right. I don't have my NaNoWriMo novel queued up actually at the moment, but I just thought of that. But let's see if you can view this. This is basically a completely blank document in Scrivener. There are no articles. There are no anything in it. It's all just a blank binder, basically. So I was wondering, yeah, when you create a blank thing, there are these three basic things. Well, three basic folders here: draft, research, and trash. I don't like using the trash thing ever. I usually create another folder that is, I'm not sure what to call it, but I guess you could call it the junk drawer of a project. The problem with trash is that it deletes itself after a specified amount of time, which can be useful for people, but I like holding them just in case there's something useful into them, and storage is cheap. But yeah. And it's also, no, you don't have to just stick to typewriter stuff either. You can actually format quite well, at least so far as I've found in the new version of Scrivener. Let's see. For example, you can change font to something like this. Yep. And you could, but I'm still learning how to do layout in Scrivener. It's then again, like I said, it's the new version, so I'm learning. But anyway,
Yeah.
let's see. Also, oh, you can also insert pictures. It's basically like Microsoft Word in that regard. But I don't think it's a word exclusive thing. Getting text to wrap around a picture. Let's see. Just let me put up one of my. Yeah, I may as well put up my Twitch avatar as soon as I can find it. Yeah. Yep, there we go. Yeah, that's a sidewall for you. Anyway.
Nice.
Thank you. Drew it myself. Anyway.
Excellent.
But yeah, it's. Oh, go on.
Greg, do you know if there's any way we can get the Discord channel not to be pushed to talk? Okay. Yeah, it's all sort of good. So I'll highlight some things that you can, other things you can do if you, with the corkboard. It comes with what's referred to as the inspector. So this right-hand side of the screen over here, you can put in various chunks of information, notes, what you want to do. For example, if you needed to do a grammar pass, you change the name of your character, there is a global find and replace. You might want to add some foreshadowing and remind yourself, oh yeah, in the beginning, I want to make sure I point this out for this character. You can put it in the note and it's tied into this specific chapter. This is a different mode where it's just going to run all the way through the text all you want. Scrivening, it's called. If you wanted to put in keywords, I know that a lot of people want to keep track of lots of different items in all their chapters these days. They want to make sure, okay, which chapters are, have which characters in it. You can customize all the keywords within it and add them as needed. Those are just two characters in the novel. I can then add them into the outline part. quite hard to do this when you have to use the push to talk. It's going to make me mental, I think.
Maybe rebinding the key for something like this in the future to something that is hardly ever used. Like the plus button or something. No.
So then you can put it in. There are better demos, obviously, online from people that use it all the time. I use the. Did you talk about the import-export functions, Robson?
No, I don't believe I did, actually.
Did you want to go over that a bit?
I honestly don't use them all that much.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, basically that's where you're importing Word files and you're compiling it, and basically you're importing it as part of putting it into the binder, basically, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. This is actually one of my NaNoWriMo novels up here. Oh, sorry. I love mind map files. I haven't actually imported one of those yet. Scrivener 1 files as well. Let's see. And, oh yeah, syncing with mobile devices. I actually used that all the time when I was doing NaNoWriMo back before law school. But, yeah, I've kind of not used that for a while, mostly because I haven't been able to do NaNoWriMo in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you can also have backup settings. This is actually super important. And you can set where you're backing it up to. This is great for when you have like a cloud-based service. Let's see, and yeah, basically you can import all sorts of files and add them to the project. Anyway, maybe we should open this up to audience questions.
Sure. I've added a few things to the outline mode so you can see better what I was trying to talk about before. Getting the total words per section, the color coding, just a little easier. Should probably turn off notifications from Discord. There are a few other things in terms of importing templates that are interesting. So created a new novel earlier. You can also get, if you do a Google search for templates, you can get like a 7-story Dan Wells from Writing Excuses 7-point plot structure one. There's the 3-act one from Gold that's available. Screenwriting, a variety of them as well. The other thing that's quite handy if you are someone that likes to stay focused is you can configure the editor to display whatever you want or just text so you can work on it. So right now,
Oh, actually, another new feature I discovered just now is the Snapshots function. This is good if you want to be able to take your project back in time.
so the Windows version, the Mac version 3 has been available for some time, and the functions are basically the same now in both programs. One of the things that I quite like is the ability to set your own personal theme for the overall program, so that it's not always just a white screen. It's configurable that way. It also got a full Windows, and when the Mac version came out, Mac GUI update, so it's more responsive. It's not like a program written in 1995. It's more responsive in terms of how it scales, scaling the fonts, what you can do with the actual layout, in terms of what's going on. They've also made it increased the number of languages that it supports natively across the world with what's going on. There's support if you use writing tools. For example, I use Pro Writing Aid to help me find my numerous grammar mistakes. Pro Writing Aid supports the new version of Scrivener, can open it up, help you find repeating words, grammar mistakes, missing prepositions, that kind of thing. Robson, what have you had a chance to find?
One of the things I've been noticing is just the overall modernization that has been going on with the most recent version of Scrivener for Windows. I'm rather enjoying it, actually. Like I just mentioned earlier, the snapshots seem like a nice touch. Also, the fact that it works better with online backup services now, hopefully. I haven't actually tested that too much yet, but it should be good, hopefully. I also like. I'm just realizing just how little I've explored this program now.
Yeah, most of us only find out what we need to know to get whatever we're writing done. So there are numerous courses out there to find more.
So I'd like to learn how to use pictures better in this, actually, seeing if I can just work completely in Scrivener rather than having to switch back and forth between various other programs. But then again, it's a writing program. It's not supposed to be a graphics editing program, so I'm not asking for too much.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Also, hello, Coffee Quills. Anyway,
Go ahead, Robson.
okay. Well, for this one, I have definite opinions. I'm kind of annoyed by the tyranny of Microsoft Word in the business, if you want my honest opinion. I've been I've been using Scrivener much longer than I've been using Microsoft Word. Actually, I guess that's not technically true. I used the original version of Word when it first came out in school. That was okay, but it's literally basically a word processor with no extra bells and whistles, or at least the ones that I use. And it certainly doesn't help you organize your documents in any meaningful fashion. This one, the organization is rather intuitive. Let's see, I've also used WordPad in the past when I decided Microsoft Word was just actually it wasn't WordPad, it was OpenOffice, I believe. Because I also like open source software. Anyway, but yeah, Scrivener is basically what I choose to help me organize my thoughts. It's sort of like my external digital brain, so to speak.
That's a good way of putting it. While I comment, Robson, someone would like to see the text-to-speech feature again. I went into Scrivener because I needed some place to keep things organized, and there wasn't a better program out there that had a corkboard feature where I could easily reorganize my scenes without, fear of losing something in the cutting and pasting process of going back and forth. I also really like the fact that I can quite easily get an ebook out from it in no time at all. And then this it seems to be more intuitive for me in terms of being able to get things to the right size so that I can view it on whatever I'm on. Like, so if I'm on my large screen at home, if I'm on my laptop, I can get the zoom sizes accurate. I can get the formatting more accurate. Word can sometimes be a little more finicky than I'd like it to be in terms of doing things. And I like the project goals. So when I set up a new project, I want to do 2,000 words a week. I plug in the numbers. I know it's going to be 60 to 80,000 words. I can just chug along. Robson, did you want to show the text to speech again?
Yes, indeed. All right. Basically, for my verbal explanation, what you want to do is go up here to Edit, and then go down to Speech, and then basically you want to and there actually is a shortcut apparently, Windows plus tilde, but
One of the few zones which have a permanent night state, Neon Night Zone has a truly unique aesthetic. The only source of illumination available in the zone is artificial. This combined with a fog that often covers large areas of the zone means that neon and other noble gas-based lighting are particularly popular as decorative illumination sources. It is also a place that produces noble gases due to the large number.
But yeah, that's basically how text-to-speech works. Looks like we have another question actually too.
Yeah, I'll just follow up on the text to speech if you want to flip back to my screen. There's a bunch of settings as well. The speed, the pitch, in Windows you get 2 default voices. You can add other voices. I tend to use one or the other. And then you can set, how fast they're going, just so it's easier for you. It's handy. There is some configurability with everything in Scrivener. If you need to do something slightly different, that flexibility exists someplace. Go ahead, Robson. You said there's another question.
Yes, it looks like. Can you create a story Bible within Scrivener? Absolutely. That's basically what this whole project that we're currently looking at is. It's got various articles I have about various pieces of the setting, and I'm using the word various a lot, and I know that's a bad thing. No. But yeah, basically you can create your own story Bible your own way, I would say. There are probably templates out there for it, although I tend to not use them because I like organizing things in real ways. So, but at any rate, yeah, that's at least I think that's what you mean by story Bible. Yes. Well, while we're waiting for a response, I can keep talking. Let's see.
Yeah, it depends how you want to set up your story Bible and what you want to give the people that you're going to put it out with. And then you can build that template. You can make your own template if you wanted to. So if you built a story Bible and you're going to do a series of, let's say, screenplays, television shows, you're going to do a series of books, you would make that a template, and then just remove the chapter material, and you would have everything in there: your characters, your setting, your locations, anything that you would need to have in there. It's really straightforward.
I don't think anyone could hear my voice. All right. We are coming up to the end of the hour, so if there are any others who would like to ask the questions, please do so now. And while we're waiting for those questions to come in, and if you two would like to tell us, everyone, a little bit about where they can find you and learn more about if your Twitch streams or any other projects you're working on, and we can talk about that.
I know, Robson, you're quite busy now because I believe you're want to get that role-playing game out, and you're looking for a place to practice law, I understand.
Yes, well, not yet. I'm currently one thing at a time. I want to pass the bar. But yeah, I do Wednesday night streaming every Wednesday on my channel, ROBSONCARR, Robson Carr, on Twitch. That's my pen name. And yeah, if you want to go see me play around with Scrivener, chances are you'll find me there doing it on Wednesday nights. But yeah, I'll be doing Pomodoro sprints, etc.
Pomodoro. I love it. It's a great technology to get things done with. I'm PassTheMeeple on Twitch. I've been away from Twitch for a while, taking a bit of a break with everything that's going on. I Twitch randomly, but I also stream irregularly as PassTheMeeple. You can see me rating and firing cheap shots at a variety of people on a regular basis across the Writers Network. I can be found on Instagram at Doug Deer for whatever you're doing. And in about an hour, I'm doing a session on a bunch of apps you might not have heard of, on how writers can use them to be more efficient. It focuses on part-time writers and apps that are relatively cheap to use to help you keep organized, that kind of thing. Greg, where can we find you?
Thank you very much. You can find me right here, since I am hosting the channel, at WriterGreg on twitch.tv, and I run every Monday through Saturday at 5 a.m. Mountain Time, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. I run what I call the morning marches, which are Pomodoro sprints, for 2 hours Monday through Friday and 4 hours on Saturdays, unless I'm helping with Writer's Conduit. But so that is what I am working on, and I'm usually WriterGreg at most social platforms. And
excellent.
Thank you so much. And it does look like that we do the track that we have here. We are on track 3. There is not a slot open. There is a slot open, meaning we don't have someone to raid. But we do have some great other presentations on track 1 and track 2. If you would like to visit writersconduit.com, you can get those and participate in that. If you want to stick around, we can participate, raid Lady of Zombies, who will be presenting in a couple minutes. But if there are any questions, we can do those as well. If not, we can sign off and send you on over to the next things.
It's been fun.
It's been fun. Be well, everybody.
All right. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye, everyone.
Bye.